There is a rumor that makes no sense until you actually hear it. Headline says Chad Ochocinco Johnson says Kevin Durant wants to be on the Heat. Really, Ochocinco. If you don't know who he is, he's a retired diva football player who wore number 85 and wanted to put Ochocinco on his jersey, so he legally changed his name to Ochocinco. That guy? But then I actually listened to what he said.
He's been totally free twice. After OKC, he went to Golden State. After Golden State, he went to Brooklyn. What makes you think he want to go to Miami now?
Because I talked to him.
What?
I talked to KD. And I know KD gonna see this, and KD can attest to this. KD and I had a lengthy conversation, and people like KD and LeBron and some of these other players that I know, they confided me, and I asked if it was okay to talk about it tonight on Nightcap, and just so happened, boom, it comes up.
Okay, so not only did he talk to KD about being okay to join Miami if it makes sense, but KD gave him the green light to talk about it to Shannon Sharpe. What are we doing? Does KD not know he's under contract, or that he's teammates with Devin Booker, who's been loyal to Phoenix and wants to win a championship? Oh, but KD's like, yeah, I'd go to the Heat. Go ahead, put that out there. Oh, but it's Ochocinco. Well, actually, this is the guy who said this in February. In my career with the Suns, I mean, I love Phoenix, but I can't know what'll happen. Why even put that out there? So obviously Durant does this kind of stuff. Now the Suns say they are not trading him, but there is one legitimate reason it could happen. But I've been playing Underdog and loving it in the playoffs. Some games are absolutely unpredictable, but win or lose, I'm just playing to have fun. Speaking of win, my buddy Jamie just won in Florida, playing Champions, the new 1v1 format they've got going on in Florida. However, let me give you my two picks for today. First up is Kyrie Irving. His rebounds and assists are at 10.5. We're gonna go higher. He's not scoring a ton, but he's doing everything else. On the other side of that game is Jalen Williams. His assists are at 5. We're also going to go higher. He's hit or exceeded this number in 4 of the last 5, and he's playing a ton of minutes. And best of luck if you were telling those picks. Check out this updated map to see if Underdog is available in your area. Also, use the promo code AMHOOPS. You will get up to $250 in bonus cash. Again, that is promo code AMHOOPS. Ever since KD left the Warriors, his career has been a dysfunctional mess. In 5 years, he has gotten out of the first round twice, but he's also been swept in the first round twice. The worst part? People don't even respect his 2 finals MVPs in Golden State. Data guy Nate Silver did a huge poll for vibes of NBA stars. On top, Bill Russell, 11 rings, everyone respects him. Then Shaq, Steph Curry, but at the bottom, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Karl Malone. KD is next to Karl Malone. By the way, if you don't know why Karl Malone's at the bottom, Google it. Not good. But KD near the bottom. People just don't respect him even with 2 rings. Do you think he regrets going there? Could he have won somewhere else? So he's just been looking for that place ever since. Well, before joining Golden State, actually, KD considered a ton of places as a free agent. The Lakers and Wizards did not secure a meeting. DC's where he grew up, but that was never serious. LA was historically good, but at the time they were the mess. So who did he meet with? In 2017, it was the Celtics, who had just made the playoffs, but their best player was Isaiah Thomas, not a real contender. The Heat still had D Wade and Chris Bosh, but I don't think KD wanted to follow in LeBron's footsteps. The Clippers, KD said he was blown away by their meeting. Pair him with Blake Griffin and prime CP3. And the Spurs, KD, LaMarcus Aldridge, and prime Kawhi. That would have been his best chance outside of Golden State. But I don't think Durant wanted another small market after living for years in OKC. So what about Miami all these years later? Well, the Heat might actually have an opening for #1 player. Miami got bounced in the first round to the Celtics, but Jimmy Butler was injured. And in response, he said this in front of cameras.
If I was playing, Boston would be at home. New York damn sure would be fucking at home.
Great, but let's be honest, it kind of sounded there to me like he had a drink or two, and that wasn't like a professional media outlet, it was like on someone's cell phone in a backyard. And Jimmy talks trash. But you know who doesn't care about any of that? Pat Riley, the Godfather himself, had this to say about Jimmy's rant.
For him to say that is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? You know, if you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut.
Damn, that was spicy. And I know people are going to say, oh, that's just how Pat Riley talks. I'm sorry, if anyone says that about their star player, something is going on. And to make things worse, Riley was asked about a Jimmy Butler extension. The first thing he said wasn't, oh, that would be great. We'd love to have Jimmy back. He said, I think he misses too many games, and I've got a problem with that.
I think he has that ability, but it's like anybody else. You might have to make some changes in your overall routine, your approach to the game, you know, whatever it is. It's, you know, and it's the same thing with me and Spo.
Okay, so it's not just his health. He has to make changes on how he approaches the game. There is something going on, but that doesn't change how the Suns feel. Would they trade Kevin Durant? Well, first, they fired Frank Vogel. Bill Simmons brought this up, but in the last 10 years, Kevin Durant leads all stars running through head coaches. 9 now with Mike Budenholzer. A lot of this, by the way, is from guys changing teams, but it is still pretty cool to see Nikola Jokic, the most low-maintenance, drama-free star, all the way down there with just one head coach his whole career. But what does this mean? Does it mean KD is a coach killer, whatever that is? All I know is the only player who leaked a problem with Frank Vogel was Kevin Durant. The Athletic reported Durant never felt comfortable in his role in Phoenix's offense alongside Booker and Beal this season. Those sources said Durant felt he was being relegated to the corner far too often and not having the proper designs to play to his strengths. Oh, really? Dude who scored 27 a game and got MVP votes wasn't used the right way. Well, as crazy as this sounds, firing Frank Vogel was actually the right thing to do. The Suns are out of tradable draft picks until 2030. The one player they probably do want to deal is Bradley Beal, who can block any trade. So if the locker room's upset, the only big move they could make is firing the head coach. They had to do it. But Mike Budenholzer? I am sorry, the one problem with Frank Vogel was his attitude. Dude hates confrontation, and on a team with Kevin Durant, you need a strong head coach who guys respect and low-key fear. Not a nerdy, quiet guy. Mike Budenholzer is that exact thing, like so smart X's and O's, but not that leader. Next year ain't different, unless you ask owner Matt Ishbia. If I'm Kevin Durant, I would ask out as soon as I heard this.
The narrative around the house is burning, it's incorrect. The Phoenix Suns are doing great. Excellent. Not as good as we want to be, and not as good as we're going to do next year, and that's what we're going to figure out. What do we got to tweak, modify, adjust to win a championship next year?
What? They didn't win one playoff game, let alone series. This is not a tweak situation. They're not a tweak away from winning 4 playoff series. That is called a salesman, people. You can see why Matt Ishbia made billions in business. Could sell sand in the Phoenix desert, but is Durant buying it? Right now is the perfect time to trade him. He's 35 with an injury history. Just scored 27 a night on high minutes and played 75 games. It ain't getting better than that, which is why it might happen. But what could Miami offer? Well, they could deal Jimmy Butler straight up, but the Suns need depth. Maybe Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, and picks? No, Phoenix needs a real point guard. And if Durant was on the market, other teams could offer more. What about a return to the Warriors? Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, and filler? Obviously not. So despite what Ocho Cinco says, I think KD is in Phoenix to stay one more year at least. And another team that's screwed is the LA Clippers. Their offseason makes no sense, but watch this video just for the tour of their new stadium. It's got the most expensive scoreboard of all time.